national parks in the United
Hello,
States.
students.
But we're going to focus on 5 of them,
and
including
you're
the
watching
Big Bend
this
National
during
Park,
your
awesome geography lesson today in class. So I am going to add to that awesome lesson and give you a tour of the best national parks in the United States.
And in
But we're
between
going to
parks
focus on
and
in between pages, I will put on the PBS National Park theme song. It's fully instrumental and it'll only be briefly, but that'll give you a brain break in between slides and allow me to switch in between pages I need to. So here we go. We are going to start with the Big Bend
in between
National
parks
Park,
and
I hope you enjoy this. I will put on the PBS National Park theme song. It's fully instrumental and it'll only be briefly, but that'll give you a brain break in between slides and allow me to switch in between pages I need to. So here we go. We are going to start with the Big Bend National Park, and I hope you enjoy this. Alrighty, guys. So we're going to start off with like a virtual tour on Google Maps that we've pulled up. There's been some awesome spectators that have allowed us to view their photos, and it gave us the pleasure of sharing them with us. So here's a sneak peek of what you could see at Big Bend National Park. You have your typical green wildlife, pretty awesome. And this is one of the spectacular views. You have these awesome limestone hills and plateaus. And class, I don't know if you remember what a plateau is. Can anyone tell me what a plateau is? I'll give you some thinking time. I'll give you about 20 seconds. Maybe you can let your teacher know what you think it is, and I'll give you the right answer here in just a few seconds. Okay, guys, so if you guessed that a plateau is a steep, flat top of an edge of a mountain, or not a mountain, I apologize, a hilly area, you are correct. Good guess if you were the ones that guessed that. Okay, so we're going to continue on with this short little view that we have right here. So you got your limestone hilly area that, like I said, and then you go into this beautiful lake area. Now, I don't think this is a lake that they allow you to swim in. However, I wish they did. It looks so pretty and fun. We could do some awesome jet skiing on that, but we can't. But it's perfect for viewing and beautiful for pictures if you're ever around. Okay, let's see if we can get to a different side. I'm gonna put that theme song back on just for a second. Okay guys, I apologize about that. I had a little bit of technical difficulties. So this is another picture that was shared by the Big Bend National Park by Martin Itchenberger. That's coincidence, I'm Miss Rosenberger. But this is just another picture of the awesome features that this park includes. It's the the hilly structures and just the historical landmark carvings, and this park also has a lost miners cave where they used to mine. It's now closed down. They no longer mine in this park, but it's an awesome historical feature to view if you're ever around. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the Grand Canyon Park. If you'll give me just one moment. Brain break over. Okay, so the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is an awesome place to go. It is a canyon, obviously, and before I move on, I'd like to know if anyone in the class can tell me what a canyon is or has an idea. Okay, I'm gonna give you about 10 seconds. Maybe y'all can shout it out real quick. Okay, guys, if you guess that a canyon is an indentation in the earth, crevices and that kind of thing, it's a vacant valley or like full of rocks and that kind of thing, that is definitely correct. Y'all chose very well if that was you. Okay, the virtual tour that we're going to go over was shared by Josh Jett from the Grand Canyon National Park. The Grand Canyon National Park, it was actually established in February 26th, 1919. It's located in Arizona. Now, this park is absolutely huge. It's nearly 1.2 million acres. Million acres! Can you believe that? Okay, so let's get on to this tour. Let's see what we can find out. This is super cool. Okay. You know what? Let's move right here. Well, guys, it doesn't look like it's letting me move around very much, but if you can see this canyon, some of those don't look very deep, but the elevation and the depth of them is enormous. You would not want to be the one skydiving into that. It would definitely be a long fall. So, we also have that picture right there. That is the edge of the cliff and the type of vegetation that we see in the Grand Canyon. Okay, these are the beautiful red hilly plateaus that you see in the Grand Canyon. Beautiful description of the geography that is included. Let's look at some Google Earth. Give us a little bit better dimension on how big this place actually is. It's super crazy. Okay, and I guess another plus about this place, it's super close to Vegas. If you're ever vacationing out that way, you might stop on by. You can see a bunch of really cool stuff. The Grand Canyon and the Colorado River flows to the Grand Canyon. So if you think about it, the Colorado River flows through Texas and it goes all the way to Arizona to the Grand Canyon. And I'm pretty sure it goes farther than that as well. So that's super crazy. That river goes a long ways. But that's really cool. So there's recreational areas. There's places where you can take pictures by the edge, kind of look like you're falling off, but you certainly don't want to because it's super high, super deep. Okay, let's move on to the LBJ National Park. I'm going to put that theme song on just for a second and we will switch. Okay guys, we're back. I apologize. My laptop for some reason isn't wanting to bring up the Google Maps. So, anyways, we are back on the LBJ National Park. Super cool. This is one that I actually learned about myself when doing this presentation. This is a home or a property that Lyndon B. Johnson lived in. He was born there, he died there, and he is actually buried there. Super cool. It's a piece of land that you can visit. His death was in 2007. I apologize. Miss Johnson, his wife's death was left in 2007, and that was when it was created into a museum. This one is located in Stonewall, Texas. It was built similar to the White House. There's a piece of the land on there that is built similar to the White House. The picture that you see here doesn't quite look so much like the White House, but it's still pretty cool. Okay, let's see what else we got on this. Let's see if we can go back now. A lot of the spectators have left us some pretty awesome pictures and virtual tours that are really fun to look at. So this is one of the virtual tours that was, it looks like it was shared by Jules Morgan, and it just shows the acreage and the awesome statues around the property. So there's several different memorials if you wanted to go see that, if you're interested in LBJ. Super cool, awesome president. He did a lot of things for the United States. Okay, there's a lot to see here. You got a lot of vegetation, a lot of acreage, not too many plateaus and hills like the other parks, but a lot of vegetation, a lot of land to look at, a lot of pretty sights. Okay, so from here, we are going to move on to the Guadalupe Mountains. Now, I think I can get to this, but without having y'all play that song, so give me just 1 second. You know what? The San Antonio Missions National Park, that one actually popped up for me. So let's do that one first. And while I put my other page, I'm going to put you on a brief intermission. So just give me 1 moment. Okay, so let's look at our virtual tour. So the mission was a place where if you wanted to become Hispanic, or not Hispanic, but of the Spanish population, then you were able to go to the missions and you had to claim a new religion entirely. So a lot of people didn't want to do that. They wanted to escape their religious persecution and they didn't want to have to trade their religion. But it says on the National Park website that after 10,000 years, the people of the South Texas found their cultures, their very lives under attack. In the early 1700s, Apaches raided the north, deeply disease traveled from the Mexico, and drought lingered. Survival lay in the mission. So this is like a safe haven for the people. By entering the mission, a forswore their tradition life became Spanish, accepting a new religion and pledging loyalty and distant to an unseen king. So this is something they were everyone was unsure about. Everyone didn't know what was really going on, but they had to do it to basically save their lives. So this is the historical monument. I'm moving over here. Give me just 1 second, guys. We gotta plug in before we lose our power. Give me just 1 second. Okay, yeah. So continuing on, in this park, you'll see a lot of awesome architecture, and you'll see a lot of vegetation, different types of architecture that you're not used to seeing. This property is, I guess congruently small compared to like the Grand Canyon, where the Grand Canyon's nearly 1.2 million acres, where this one it's much smaller in comparison. So that is the San Antonio Missions in San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so back on to the Guadalupe Mountains. Let's see if we can get those pulled up. For some reason, it wasn't wanting to pull it up for us, but hopefully we can get that on there for us. Guadalupe Mountains. Let's see if we put Texas, if that'll help. Here we go, we got some Guadalupe Mountains going on. Okay, so the Guadalupe Mountains, this is one of the rare places in Texas you'll actually see some pretty awesome hills. These are located down in, I apologize. They're located in the Salt Basin Trail, and we got many pictures here from some spectators. It's located in the southwest of Texas. Of the 4 elements, fire in the form of sun and earth in the form of rock are one of the ones immediately obvious in the Guadalupe Mountains. You see some awesome colors in these hills. So you see some awesome architecture, like different little cabins that are built in the Guadalupe Mountains that are completely exposed to the wildlife. Super cool, guys. You don't really see this anymore with the big cities being built up around, but they have some awesome trails out here that you can run through. Let's see if we can find a tour. Okay, so this isn't a tour, but this is one of the awesome plateaus that we got. And the plateau is basically sand formed. It's awesome. It's limestone. It's made this picture kind of looks white, but once you get up, it's more of a reddish clay looking. Super cool. There's not there is vegetation around the area, but up on the mountains and the hilly areas, you're not going to see too much vegetation. It's going to be more like dirt and sand. I guess that's because, you know, we're in Texas. We like the desert. So, what else? This historical park, it has a little museum. You can go in and learn about some of the artifacts that have been found in the park, the cave paintings and that type of thing. As the Apache Indians, they derived from this area. So, is there anything else? Okay, so, and there is a little bit of water. We're not completely dry here like most of Texas. So we got a little bit of water strolling on through. Not too terribly much, but it does provide a pretty sight for us. Okay, so this is your skyline view from the top of the mountain. That is super high, guys, don't you think? Super high. I definitely wouldn't want to be looking down there. I'm super scared of heights. So, I don't know about y'all, but that's super scary. Alright, guys, there's some of your vegetation, and I'm going to close with this. I'm going to put that theme song back on. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you'll enjoy learning about the parks and a little bit more about your geographical features. So overall, y'all have a great day and enjoy your lesson. Be nice to your teacher and one another. Thank you.